Good morning, class. Welcome back. Today we'll see a chapter from Footprints Without Feet. Chapter number 1, A Triumph of Surgery. A presentation by Swati Thakre. A Triumph of Surgery is written by James Herriot. Now, can you see this image? Here is a question for you all. What comes to your mind when you see this dog? Even I have a couple of questions for you. Do you have a pet at home? And if yes, do you think you can take a good care of it? These questions and their answers will lead to a better understanding of the chapter. So please think over it. Let's move further. Introduction to the lesson. Tricky is a very important character of this story. Tricky is a small dog and is pampered and overfed by his rich mistress. Now this dog falls seriously ill, and his mistress, who is called as Mrs. Pumphrey, she consults a veterinary surgeon. Now, the beginning of the story poses or brings two questions in front of us. The first one is, does he perform, means that surgeon perform an operation? And the other question is, does the dog recover? Okay, does that dog gets recovered? So with these questions, let's discuss the story. Here is the summary in a nutshell. The story is about Tricky, a dog who is the pet of a rich lady named Mrs. Pumphrey. She loves her dog very much and is unable to refuse him anything he wants. Tricky is fond of eating cream cakes and chocolates. So one day when Mrs. Pumphrey is out with Tricky for a walk, the narrator sees them and stops to talk. While talking to Mrs. Pumphrey, he realizes that she has been overfeeding Tricky and also had been giving him things that he shouldn't eat, and due to which Tricky had started looking like a bloated sausage, that he has put so much weight on its body. Soon, Tricky got unwell and Mrs. Pumphrey has to call Mr. Herriot, who is a narrator, and she calls him for her help. She does not want to send him, means to send Tricky away. But the only way suggested by Mr. Herriot is to get him hospitalized for 15 days. That was the only option. Then the story unfolds into how he, means the dog, gets well. So read the description to know more. Okay. First we'll see some information about the author. You can see the author in that image, in that frame. James Alfred White, born on 3rd October 1916, was known by the pen name James Herriot, was a British veterinary surgeon and writer who used his many years of experiences as a veterinary surgeon to write a series of books, each consisting of stories about animals and their owners. As Tricky and Mrs. Pumphrey has become the part of his stories, there are many more other animals and the owners who have become the part of his stories. This writer is best known for these semi-autobiographical works, beginning with If Only They Could Talk in 1970. Which spawned a series of movies and television series. Before we actually go into the depth of the chapter, let's study a few words. They will help us for a better understanding. Mistress, a woman in a position of authority or control. Bloated means excessive in size or amount. Sausage, an item of food in the form of a cylindrical length of minced pork or other meat encased in a skin, typically sold raw to be grilled or fried before eating. Bloodshot. The word is used in association with the eyes here. Inflamed or tinged with blood, typically as a result of tiredness. Roomy, that is watery. Lolled, sit, lie or stand in a lazy, relaxed way. Hasten, be quick to do something. Listless, lacking energy or enthusiasm. Malnutrition, lack of proper nutrition. Cod liver oil, oil pressed from the liver of codfish. Relent, become less severe or intense. Lumbago, pain in the muscles and joints of the lower back.